Watch us trade live right before your eyes from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. every market day Pacific time. Join us now only on SwissFT.com.
It took me 30 minutes to tell a little story about how you take 500 a day to keep the job away. And you'll notice I tried to trade this, and I got in here late, and I got out here, and then it went on down here. The setup was good, but the setup failed when this price in this candle came down below that low. If it had never made a lower low and just kind of came down to there and then turned around and went back up to there, let me draw a little arrow here. What I mean, if price had, what it did is it got up to there, and we were ahead on the trade when price was up there, especially up here. But when we got the new candle, there's a gap here that from this close to that open. And when there's a gap, expect the next candle to be the opposite of the last candle. This candle was white, a bull candle. If you have a gap from this close to that open, and we have a pretty sizable gap there, it's got to be 3 or 4 ticks. Let's just look at that and see. Go up here and get my horizontal line. See, there it is. I'm going to stick it right there on that high. I'm not high, but close. That's a close. On a white candles close at the top. Bullish candles close at the top of their body. And then this black candle opened way up here on the top of its body. And here's that one. Let's spread it out and look and see how much that was. Oh, we got it stretched out. We can see we weren't quite right. Now that's the top of that one, and here is the top of that one. Now let's look over here at these numbers. That number is 107,650. This one's 107,645. That's 5 ticks. So that gap was a 5 ticker. That's a big gap. Most gaps are just about a tick. But even that tells you that the next candle is going to be in the opposite direction. Now, that's a little message that I was taught back in 2013, and I think our mentor told us that about 70 times over the course of the 5 years that we worked with him. And my partner, Anthony, used to use that to make $50 a day. He would make $50 a day in real money every day using that methodology. Pretty simple trading, repetitious and consistent. $50 doesn't sound like much, but when you make $50 every day, you're making $250 a week working an hour. We've been working an hour or two for 20 years. He started trading in 2000 together, and he quit about 3 years ago, but he was really good at that. And if you just remember that little story about when there's a gap between one candle close and another candle open, expect a change in bias in the next candle. In this case, sell that sucker. Now, we were in a buying mode here, and when I got stopped out, I wasn't looking at this level. I wasn't paying attention to it. Therefore, I missed the opportunity. There's 17 or 20 opportunities that come along every 30 seconds. You can't catch them all. So you have to keep scanning back and forth between one instrument and another instrument. We put 6 up and we look at them, and you've heard 3 or 4 people in this room today make comments on various instruments. This euro was called to my attention by Dennis. He also called our attention to gold earlier, and I called our attention to oil earlier than that. And that's the way it goes throughout 2 hours we work. And now it's 6:18 and I have to take a break.
Join us now only on SwissFT.com.